Satsang-65. Formless, unqualified Brahman. 29th September, 1935. Evening Satsang. In the Vedas, it is said that pure consciousness, or prajna, is Brahman. That which is consciousness is Brahman. The me, the holder of the name me, is illusion. That which is there without any effort is Brahman consciousness, or prajna Brahman. That experience of being, without speaking about it, is Brahman. In it, there is a concept that I am somebody. It is an imagined ghost. That which is called me should be dropped. When that me is gone, the job is over. It is not necessary to set out to see what Brahman is. The awareness that only Brahman is sufficient. However, in order to know Brahman, some other factor is created by the mind. In order to know, the intellect must create something separate. The intellect, in order to know, imagines a duality. But whatever is imagined is not that, not Brahman. The mind and intellect are like a continuous flow of a downward stream from absolute pure consciousness. When the stream comes out of that, it cannot know the original reservoir from which it is oozing. This is why true aspirants, sadhakas, try to contain the mind and intellect so that the leakage can be stopped. For example, there is a very large tank full of water, and a small hole is there. Water is streaming through the hole. The flow of water coming down cannot look back through the hole and know the content of the water in the tank. As soon as the flow starts, it forgets that it is part of the accumulated water in the tank. When it is out of the tank, everything about the tank is forgotten. This is why the mind and intellect are controlled and not allowed to flow. You must stop this aimless flowing downward movement into illusion, into Maya. This is being emphatically told to you. The mind and intellect cannot understand this. When you, as Atman, drop all attachment, then all is Brahman. You must leave aside the meaning of what the mind says. You must not follow what the mind says. Do not be attached to what the mind says. Mind is a thing that has fallen down. Mind interprets according to its whim and suffers due to the mixture of pleasure and pain. You should leave the mind and its interpretations. How do you leave it? People leave their homes, tear away their clothes, and try to be monks. But even after doing that, their attachments are not dropped. When one continues to possess that which has decided to drop, how can one become a monk or realize Brahman? One who realizes in one day has the straight path of the flight of the eagle, the bird's way. And one who realizes after many days is on the slow path of an ant, the ant's path. When all attachment is dropped, what remains is Brahman, absolute pure consciousness. What is our attachment that is to be dropped? This means that when you see only self, the sense of me and mine is dropped. I means the sense of me. It is the sense of this separate me that is the state of the individual, the jiva. When you say, I don't exist, the individual is finished. When you have actually seen that you are not, there is no necessity of a means and an end. When the individual jiva is gone, only God, Shiva, remains. The meaning of the end of the jiva is the ending of the little me. You have seen that you are non-existent. There is a confirmed realization that from top to bottom in the whole body, that you, me, or I is not there. Even after this conviction, there is still the experiencing of a body and of consciousness. Now, this experience is of the nature of a gentle touch. It is but a slight touch for pure consciousness, Shiva. This means that consciousness touches or animates the covering that is the body. This is a simple sensation that is most natural. The quality of pure consciousness is what is called Shiva, or formless being. That which is only imagination, without the base of actual experience or observation, is called ignorance. The misunderstanding about that which is born as the body, as me, is the essence of the state of the jiva, which is ignorance. This is wrong knowledge. When the fact is one thing and you think it to be something else, that is wrong knowledge. Ignorance means not knowing. When you know, when you understand, it is knowledge. The gaining of knowledge takes away ignorance. And then supreme knowledge, or vijnana, takes away even that knowledge. After this, you do not have to study. You are simply pure Brahman. Bread that is already baked need not be baked again. And you do not boil rice that has already been boiled. The word Swayambhu means Shambhu or Shiva, by a slight change in pronunciation. That one who is Shambhu is Swayambhu, the self-existent one. Even if the body is cleansed by taking a bath, the self, Atman, is not cleansed by that process. Brahman is already pure. Why are you trying to bathe it? A tiger was advised that he should first take a bath and then kill animals. He followed the advice and began to die of hunger. A sage told him, "You did not follow your own religion, your natural behavior, your natural dharma, and therefore you are going hungry." If pure consciousness moves into unnecessary and wrong things, everything goes wrong. So do not do anything. It is told how Shiva left his abode on Mount Kailasa and went to the cemetery where he attained self-realization. You also are the Supreme Self, so enjoy your own glory. Others are going to be pure by simply looking at you. You will find that things will happen as you say. Remain where you are. Do not clean toilets when you are a king. Remain with yourself, fully aware of your being. You are the unattached, self-existent Param Atman. It is for you to increase the power of this knowledge, vidya. This knowledge was used by kings. The royal teachers in the past were not imparting this to others. Those teachers were appointed to the kings alone, and they were dependent on the kings. The real saint or sage does not care about this. This knowledge of yoga, knowledge of oneness, is great. Lord Krishna enjoyed its glory. No doubt it is a great thing to attain the state of Brahman, but it is still greater to enjoy it. but alas, nobody enjoys it. What is the necessity of the means when the goal is achieved? You are the primordial, everlasting Brahman. Drop the idea of an imagined person. You exist without being imagined. Those who underwent tremendous trouble and even faced death in the name of spiritual efforts did not die after dropping the me. However, people die every day in vain, doing much hard work in their life, but do not enjoy the glory and the majesty of Brahman. One whose pride is gone is automatically Brahman, without a ripple of thought. This is also called unbroken, unhindered samadhi. Either with qualities or without qualities, there is only Brahman. There is nothing else. The man was unnecessarily holding on to some false concept. Brahman is the same everywhere, for both the king and the pauper, the woman or the man. It is not true that a priest Brahman is pure and a Shudra's or laborer's Brahman is impure. All of the sadhus, saints, sages, and monks that have ever been, and even the Vedas, sing in praise to you only, to Atman. The entire world worships only you. Shiva and Vishnu and all the other gods come to worship you and are merged in you. They have no other place. For all, there is only one place of rest. To all, the resting place is Param Atman, the Supreme Self. And it is your Swarupa, your true nature. Brahma, Vishnu, and all the gods praise only this God. The entirety of manifestation, Prakriti, is the servant of this God. She is trying hard to keep him in good mood. All glory is in God, the Almighty God. All the fame, all the greatness, and all the power vests in God. Therefore, the Vedas shout at the top of their voice that they are purified by having a glimpse of a saint or sage. All glory goes to God, Shiva, and poverty comes to the individual, Jiva. There is only oneness for the Guru and his disciple. There is no difference there. There is only one and no other. And this is the great statement of the Vedas. And unless you postulate the primary premise, that is, the discernment of the essence and the non-essential, the final statement that only Brahman exists is not evident. First, we have to recognize what is false, and from that, we have to find out what is true. Whatever has a name has no base. It is false. All names are false. Various names are used to indicate the attributeless Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. In Brahman, there is no bliss. Therefore, bliss is also false. Identification with Brahman is also false. Indescribable is a word used to indicate or point to Brahman, but that is also false. The rule is that we have to not speak about it at all. The word unmana, or no mind, is used to indicate that in which mind is not, where mind is dissolved. The entity that was saying I was the mind. When the structure of mind is gone, what remains is the natural state. Brahman remains as it always is. The manifest self, Atman, the Vedanta, and the formless self have remained one. Those who experience for themselves know this.